let me tell you a bit more about the beautiful details of this hat. Add a touch of cuteness to your baby with this adorable hat. Thoughtfully designed in every detail, this hat is not just a stylish accessory, it's a special piece that completes your baby's outfit. Thanks to its simple yet charming design, it pairs beautifully with any outfit and can be worn both for everyday use and special occasions. The hat features clean and neat stitching both inside and out, making it not only visually appealing, but also gentle on your baby's delicate skin. The tie-on style ensures a secure fit, preventing it from slipping while adding an extra dose of sweetness. What makes this hat truly special is the ability to personalize it. You can decorate it with your favorite patterns, choose your own color combinations, and even add your baby's name or initials to create a one-of-a-kind piece made just for them. Whether you're working with different fabrics, playing with color palettes, or adding unique embellishments, this hat is perfect for anyone looking to get creative or make something handmade and meaningful for their little one. Make sure to print the pattern at its original size, scale 100%. Do not make any changes to the template. Check the control square. Each side should measure 2 centimeters, approximately 0.79 inches. If so, the pattern has been printed correctly. I've already cut and prepared the pattern, and now I'd like to give you some information about it. The main pattern consists of 2 pieces, and the hat is made up of 5 separate parts. The piece I'm holding is the front part of the pattern. You'll see the grain line and the fold line marked on it. I'll be cutting 2 of these pieces, one from the outer fabric and one from the lining. The bottom edge aligns with the neckline, and the area marked front on the pattern indicates the front side of the hat, so this is how the front of the hat will look once it's assembled. This is the back pattern piece. It includes the fabric fold line, the neckline, and the grain line. I will cut 1 piece from the outer fabric and 1 from the lining, both on the fold. When I cut 2 pieces from the front pattern and 2 pieces from the back pattern, I end up with a total of 4 pieces. The 5th piece is the bias binding. After cutting the pattern pieces, I'm now moving on to the next step. I use the same fabric for both the outer layer and the lining. The fabric I chose is 100% cotton poplin. This is the length of the fabric, and this is the width of the fabric. First, I'm cutting the front pieces, 2 pieces. I make sure to pay attention to the fabric fold. First, I folded the fabric once widthwise. Since I want to get 2 pieces, I'm folding it again lengthwise. So now I have 4 layers of fabric. I place the pattern on top, trace around it using a heat erasable pen, and then cut it out. I make a small notch to mark the center of the back piece. Now it's time to cut the back pattern. To obtain 2 pieces, I first fold the fabric widthwise and then lengthwise. I carefully place the pattern along the fabric fold, trace it with a heat erasable pen, and then cut it out. I've now cut my 2 back pieces. I make a small notch at the spot I showed. Don't make these notches too big. I prepared the pattern with a 0.5 centimeter seam allowance. If the notch is too large, it may cause issues while sewing. I recommend cutting the bias at a minimum length of 50 centimeters, approximately 20 inches, because I want to be able to tie it around the baby's neck after putting the hat on. I folded my fabric widthwise and drew a line that is 30 centimeters, about 12 inches long, and 4 centimeters, around 1.5 inches wide. You can adjust the length and width according to your own design. You can use a bias tape maker if you prefer, but I'm going to make it by hand. First, I fold down the top edge by 1 centimeter, about 3/8 inch. Then, I fold the left side in by 1 centimeter, and do the same with the right side, folding it in by 1 centimeter as well. Finally, I fold both sides toward the center to shape the bias tape. I fold the entire strip this way and pin it in place. I ironed the bias tape to make it easier to sew. I had cut 2 front pieces and 2 back pieces. I'm pinning the front and back pieces together from the small notches I made to prepare them for sewing. I'll sew them from those points shortly. Let's start sewing. I prefer the smallest stitch length setting, 2 millimeters, because it looks more aesthetic. I started sewing the front and back pieces as shown. At the beginning, I secure the stitches by sewing back and forth, then continue along the seam. When I reach the end, I secure the stitches again by sewing back and forth. Now it's time for the second piece. I've taken the back and front pieces and I'm sewing them together using the same techniques as before. I've sewn both pieces. I turned one piece right side out. Then I'm placing it inside the other piece so that their right sides are facing each other. I'm sewing from the point I marked. I'm turning it right side out through the opening at the bottom. Now it's time for the final step, attaching the bias tape. I folded the hat in half and made a small notch at the center. I'm also folding the bias tape in half and marking the center point. I'm pinning the hat and the bias tape together at their exact center points. I prefer to add gathers to the back detail. It not only looks more appealing, but also gives a more professional appearance. During this process, pinning is very important to prevent the fabrics from shifting. Let's sew! I'll stitch from the beginning to the end of the bias tape. The key point here is to make sure I'm sewing through all the fabric layers. There are 4 layers from the bias tape and 2 from the hat, making a total of 6 layers. It's important to catch all of them in the seam to ensure a neat and secure finish. Great! We finished sewing the hat! If you've watched this far, you truly deserve a big congratulations. You followed each step and managed to sew a hat with your own hands. How amazing is that? I hope this process was both educational and enjoyable for you. Remember, everything made by hand is unique and incredibly valuable. Now I'll show you the personalization step I like to add before wrapping up the video. Maybe you'll like the idea and try it yourself too. And here's our hat, all finished! See you in the next designs!